Hey everybody, welcome back with another episode of Play with Heart with your boy Rez. Hey, and today is going to be a special episode. We're going to have top 10 running backs, along with bringing on my boy Chris Simeon to talk about MLB, the favorites, who the MVP, who the Cy Young. We also going to talk a little bit of NBA, a little bit of football, and then he's going to try to talk about, what did I say about my top 10 wide receivers, in a preview of my running backs. But right now, let's go into that top 10 of running backs. And I want y'all to let me know what you think. Be open, be honest, real talk. So coming in at number 10, I like to work myself all the way up from 10 to 1. Coming up at number 10, I have to go back and forth with this. And I just had a conversation and it made me change. So let's just talk about our honorable mentions. Honorable mentions, there's a lot of good running backs out there, but not a lot of great ones. We got Josh Jacobs, didn't make the top 10. He's very good. He played with the Las Vegas Raiders. Ezekiel Elliott, who played with Dallas Cowboys, who also had, look at his numbers, he had 1,000 rushing, 10 rushing touchdowns. So he had a good year, but he's just not the same explosive Zeke we used to seeing, and his yards per game is kind of down with 60-something yards per game. That's not very good, Zeke. So that means he have great games, and that means he have very bad games. So that's not going to do it good enough, to crack our top 10. Saquon Barkley didn't make our top 10. A lot of injury history, a lot of injury years, never have good years. A lot of people consider him a bust now, and that's not sad to say because he's not going to make our top 10. And I don't see him making our top 10 for the future because there's a lot of newbies that's coming up. And one of the newbies that I think can crack our top 10 is Javonte Williams. I think he's going to have a special year for Denver Broncos this year. I think he's up and coming. I took him in fantasy last year, and I did a very good job of winning and picking out my sleepers. I always do my sleepers before every draft, and I got him. And I wanted him, and I got him. And I got James Conner on him just because he's been having a great 2 seasons back-to-back. In Pittsburgh, he was very steady Eddie. He's a good back to half. He's got injury-prone, but all these guys are injury-prone. All running backs are injury-prone, so you can throw that out the window. There's no running back that's really giving you 17 games now, 17 games each year, especially the ones that's been around 5-6 years in the game. So we're going to start off with our number 10. And number 10 is Austin Ekeler. Austin Ekeler with the Los Angeles Chargers. I think he's very good, man. I think he's he's multifaceted. And I like his game. So he should say he should be higher. I know a lot of projections got him number 11, number 12. I got it right here at 10 because, I'm going to go over these numbers. 206 carries for the year, 911 yards rushing, 4.4 yards per attempt, 12 touchdowns. For his stature, he has 12 touchdowns. And he's third in touchdowns out of all running backs. So I think that's great. And his receiving, 70 receptions. He led. No, I won't say led. He was second in receptions to running backs, but he had the most yards for running backs with 647, and he had the most touchdowns for running backs with 8. So he could be up. He's giving you 900 yards rushing. He's giving you 700 yards receiving. He's giving you 20 touchdowns total, guys. 20. So, yeah, he was up there with Jonathan Taylor this year, but nobody was talking about him because he didn't have the yards to back it up, but, rushing yards. But he has the receiving yards to blow your mind. So I got him at number 10. You can argue that, but he's very solid 10. In fantasy, he's a good guy to have, but he will be injury-prone as well. Number 9 is a newcomer, Najee Harris. The way he ran the ball last year, I think he led the second in the league in carries with 307, had 1,200 yards. 3.9 yard attempt, but that's a little bit with his quarterback who wasn't throwing the ball very far. His O-line was kind of shaky. So don't look at the yard attempt with this guy. I think he's way better than what that says. He had 7 rushing touchdowns, 74 receptions, which led the running backs in receptions, 467 yards and 3 touchdowns. He played in all games, 17 games. I think that's good. All those carries coming in with a young body, I think that's okay. You could tell that he was the motion, he was the train of the offense. If you watch the Pittsburgh Steelers game and football, that they ran the ball a lot to him, 307 carries, and they threw the ball with 74 receptions. So he had over 100 targets. So that's amazing. And guys like that gonna make my list. And this is Rez's list. So 10 is Austin Ekeler. Number 9 is Najee Harris from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then number 8, Joe Mixon, steady guy. I believe he should be top 10. He's my number 8, 292 carries, 1,205 yards, 4.1 yards per attempt, 13 touchdowns, which is very good. 42 receptions, 314 yards, 3 touchdowns, receiving touchdowns. That's very good. 16 games. Like I say, he's a steady guy, man. Joe Mixon, they went to the Super Bowl, and I know a lot of people talk Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, but it all starts with the running game, man. Honestly, if Joe Mixon wasn't good enough, they wouldn't even be in the Super Bowl. So I think he played a huge factor in getting them to the Super Bowl, and a lot of people started noticing that too as well, because he can take on 20, 25 carries a game, and he can take on that load. So he comes in as my number 8. My number 7, now this is hard. Like these next 5 through 7 was very hard. Aaron Jones is my number 7. He had 171 carries. That's very low. To his caliber, he had 799 yards. This is very low. A lot of people say, why is he number 7, Rez? He had 4.7 yard attempt. It's kind of up there. I mean, he's giving you close to 5 yards per carry, bro. And then he had 4 touchdowns. He had 52 receptions, 391 yards. He had 6 receiving touchdowns. So total, he had 10 touchdowns total, but you can tell his versatility. Then they got a backup running back for Green Bay Packers that come in, A.J. Dillon. So they got a working horse. They don't want to give Aaron Jones too many carries until you get to the playoffs. But let's just say he had 200 carries. Let's say he had 200 carries. I think for a fact, if he had 200 carries, 30, 35 more carries, he'll have easily 900 to 1,000 yards. So I just think they were saving him a lot. But his receiving game, like I say, 6 touchdowns receiving, 391 yards. I can really tell you why he's number 7 was his versatility. And the next couple of guys are versatility guys. Alvin Kamara is my number 6, 240 carries, 898 yards. He's still not clipping that 1,000. A lot of people, you got to have 1,000 rushes. Zeke didn't have 1,000. He not up there. But these guys did a lot, man. And Alvin Kamara had a bad offensive line. Horrible quarterback situation after Winston went down. And for him to run that many times, he's not really known as a big rushing running back. But for him to rush 240 times to get 900 yards, that's very good. 3.7 yards attempt, that's bad. I'm going to tell you now. That's really not that good. But with the O-line he had and how many times he had to carry it, I get it. He had 4 touchdowns. He had 47 receptions and 439 receiving yards with 5 touchdowns. And so his versatility. He only played in 13 games. So most of these guys don't get hurt. So he played in 13 games of the season. Next guy, he's number 6. He's number 6. And this is hard for me to put him number 6 because I think he got talent to be top 3, but just not right now. Just with his injury history. Christian McCaffrey come in at number 6, and I had a very tough time with him number 6 and 5, but he's number 6, 99 carries, 442 yards, 4.5 a pop, 1 touchdown, 37 receptions, 343 yards, 1 touchdown in 7 games. 2 touchdowns in 7 games, that's not going to cut it, bro. I know he's the first running back to give you 1,000 and 1,000 receiving, 1,000 rushing in a year. That's amazing as a running back. But these last couple of years, he's been hurt. He's playing 7 games, only getting 2 touchdowns. As a running back, I expect you to get in the end zone. I don't care. If you're a running back, I expect you to get in the end zone. When it's a goal line, red zone, and we need to get that carry, that yard, I want to give you the ball. So that's one of the reasons I didn't put him over the next guy. But Christian McCaffrey is very good. Like I say, he's very good at receiving, very good at rushing, but he's not that big. So when he get a lot of carries, he get hurt, man. That's what it is. He get hurt, but he's a special talent. But I'd rather have somebody that's available. Like I say, 7 games, man. That's not gonna cut it. So number 5, going into my number 4. And who I picked over Christian McCaffrey because he's number 5. Nick Chubb. A lot of people like him higher too, but 228 carries, 1,259 yards, 5.5 attempt. 5.5. 8 touchdowns, 20 receptions, 174 yards, 1 receiving touchdown. And that's why I'm put him up. I need some more receiving, man. I need some more out of the receiving, bro. And then Nick Chubb got good players behind him that also Kareem Hunt also come in and kill. the young kid that came in after Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb was down. He came in and killed. So the offensive line is nasty. So let's start there. They have a nasty offensive line. And that's one of the things I kind of penalize them against because everybody who get that ball do good in Cleveland. But they don't do as good as him, but they do good. So that's why I kind of left him at that 4th spot. But Nick Chubb is a very good back, especially fantasy-wise. He played in 14 games. He's going to get nicked up, just the type of player he is. He like to run through you. But I like to see him more on the receiving end to be my top 3. And I know the top 3 don't got crazy numbers receiving, but you got to do a little bit of something on that top 3, man. Number 3 is Dalvin Cook. He's very injury-prone, too. He played 13 games this year. He going to get hurt every year, bro. Dalvin Cook going to get hurt every year. And you can make the case for him and Madison. When Madison comes in, he has a good rushing. But when Dalvin Cook is in, it's a different team. He had 249 carries, 1,159 yards, 4.7. That's good. 6 touchdowns receiving. He had 34 receptions, 224 receiving, 0 reception touchdowns. He got to do more receiving, bro. And that's why I like that group with Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Austin Ekeler, because they do more. They're versatile. But it's hard to put them up because of the yards these kids are giving. Like Dalvin Cook, he's number 3. Minnesota plays a different game when he was playing. You just can tell he's special. He can do more receiving because he's very agile. But once he gets the rock, 4.7, you know he's getting you half a first down every time. So that's very good. He's number 3. Now these last 2, you know who they are. It's just who's number 2, who number 1. Jonathan Taylor's number 2. Just out the fact, I just need to see multiple seasons of doing this. He had 332 carries, which is a lot. 1,811 yards, which is a lot. 5.5 yards attempt, which is a lot. 18 touchdowns, a lot. 40 receptions. He get in that reception game. He got 40 of them. 360 yards, receiving yards. I like that too, receiving touchdowns. I like that. 17 games played. Overall, great job, Jonathan Taylor. Had one of the best years, bro. Good running back. Good having fantasy. Great. He's number 2. But great year. He's explosive. He knows he got his vision. He's behind a good offensive line as well. They get the quarterback play together, Matt Ryan, I think, and make them a better team. And they get a couple more weapons on the outside, but Jonathan Taylor's a weapon. Like to see him get more in the end zone on receiving side, like set up screens and stuff. But 18 rushing touchdowns, come on, bro. 1,800 yards, he should be number 1. I get it. But my number 1 is Derrick Henry, 219 carries, 937 yards, 4.3 yards attempt, 10 touchdowns, and 8 games. 18 receptions, 154 reception yards, 0 touchdown, receiving touchdowns. He don't give you a lot over there receiving, but damn, he's a monster when it's come to running. First off, he had 219 carries in 8 games. Austin Ekeler played 16 games, had 206. Aaron Jones had played 15 games, had 171. Christian McCaffrey played at 7, one behind Derrick Henry, 99 carries. Nick Chubb played at 14, 228. Derrick Henry had 219 carries in 8 games. So that man would have 400 carries if you were paid the 417. That's insane, boy. That's a workhorse. He carried a workload. Like, that's my number 1. Somebody I can always get a ball to. Go get us a yard. Go get us 4 or 5. And people know we giving the ball to him, but they still can't. 4.3, I know 11. That's not a lot. That's a lot for a man that 10 people in that box waiting on him. That's a lot. 219 carries, y'all. 930. In 8 games, he had 1,000 yards. In 8 games. 7 games, Christian McCaffrey had 442. 13 games, Dalvin Cook had 1,159. Austin Ekeler had 911 and 16. Aaron Jones, 799, 15. Alvin Kamara had 898 and 30. This man had 937 yards in 8 games. Bro, he's not your number 1. You got Jonathan Taylor over him. Pitch up playing 17 games. You think 18 touchdowns would have been a lot for Jonathan? Man had 20, 21, 22. Probably had about 1,800, 1,900 yards too. Yeah. Yeah. That man. Yeah. Here is that guy. He number 1. So number 10, Austin Ekeler. 9, Najee Harris. 8, Joe Mixon. 7, Aaron Jones. 6, Alvin Kamara. 5, Kishner McCaffrey. 4, Nick Chubb. 3, Dalvin Cook. 2, Jonathan Taylor. And number 1 is my Derrick Henry. Bro, that's just outstanding numbers. I just can't. 8 games, 219 carries, 937 yards, 10 touchdowns, bro. In 8 games, bro. Come on, bro. Get out. Man, I'm done with this list. If you don't like it, honorable mentions Josh Jacobs, Zeke, Saquon, Javonte, James Conner. They couldn't cut it, bro. Who are they better than? Who are they better? Austin Ekeler, number 10, bro, had 12 rushing touchdowns and 8 receiving. He had 20 total. You can't put nobody ahead of him. He got 20 total touchdowns, bro. Get up out of here, bro. Get up. That's a nice top 10, man. If y'all got anything to say, please let us know. I'm going to see what Chris saying later on about it. But Derrick Henry, my number 1, hey, deal with it. Because that's not the numbers, man. I'm done, bro. That's my top 10. Red's top 10, man. I'm through, bro. If you got anything to say, you're a hater, man. Top 10 out.